people assume all those illegal immigrants are from Latin America, but that's not the case. Illegal immigrants are actually from all over the world, including China. Encounters with Chinese nationals coming here illegally grew by 5,000% just from 2021 to last year. That's more than a blip, it's a trend. And it's playing out all over the country, including in Florida, where Chinese migrants are being smuggled into the state. For the second time this month, police stopped vans carrying migrants in Coral Gables, a wealthy Miami suburb, and 26 Chinese nationals and 2 smugglers were arrested. Are these simply desperate individuals looking for a better life, or are they potentially spies or saboteurs sent as agents of the Chinese Communist Party? Joining us now is senior national correspondent Brian Entin with more details on the Florida arrest. Do we have any idea where all these Chinese migrants are coming from and why?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out, Elizabeth, and ICE is too, where they're coming from and where they're going. It's very interesting what's been happening here in Coral Gables, though, because as you mentioned, this is a very fancy, wealthy part of Miami. You've got the Biltmore Hotel, the Vizcaya Estate isn't far from here. These houses behind me are tens of millions of dollars. And now for the second time in 2 weeks, there were these white vans pulled over here in the neighborhoods of Coral Gables, and inside them were dozens and dozens of Chinese migrants and also smugglers. They were stopped yesterday, and then 2 weeks before that, very, very similar, another white van. The police chief here says they believe that these migrants were dropped off somewhere in the area along the water, along the Atlantic Ocean here. And it's interesting when you dig into it, there's this issue with the Caribbean right now, Elizabeth. China is buying up thousands and thousands of acres of land in the Caribbean, places like Antigua, the Bahamas. It's being called America's third border, and we're told that's a place where these Chinese migrants stop on their way to Florida. We spoke with Congressman John Molinar. He is the chairman of the Select Committee of the CCP. He is aware of this. Listen to what he told us, Elizabeth.
In the case of the Chinese, you don't know the affiliation with the Chinese Communist Party, and that's the concern, because the Chinese Communist Party will leverage Chinese nationals to do things that are nefarious and against the interests of the United States.
And an interesting twist here in Coral Gables, Elizabeth, is it's actually neighbors who have been tipping off authorities. They've been calling 911. And in the recent case, a neighbor actually thought there was a kidnapping happening, saw them moving these Chinese migrants from a car into the white van right on the street, called the police, said, "I think I see a kidnapping." Police come out and realize that it's this smuggling operation.
Yeah,
Elizabeth?
And Brian, it's not just Florida. We've seen video of Chinese migrants walking across the border in California as well from Mexico. It's unclear how many of these people are trying to escape the Communist Party in China and how many of these people might be working on behalf of the Communist Party in China.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't know the answer. You heard the congressman there say the concern is if some of them are working on behalf of the CCP, and then where are they going in the country? Remember, we did the story in Oklahoma. You've got the illegal Chinese pot grow houses there. I mean, there's all sorts of little issues happening all over the country where these people are funneled out to. In terms of this Florida group, where they were going, all that's under investigation.
All right, so we've now traced them from farms in remote and rural Oklahoma to fancy schmancy neighborhoods in Coral Gables, Florida. Brian Entin, who knows where they'll turn up next. Thank you so much.